almost don't know how to, you know, introduce this video that I'm making, but um, I realize I've been gone for a long time, since about middle of August or so, and um, let me just start out by saying, at about that time or a little bit after, um, I actually uh, was having a lot of computer trouble. Uh, the laptop I had been using was completely unsuitable for recording videos and uploading them onto here, just because it was so slowed down by, who knows what kind of computer viruses or whatever. So I eventually just lost all my motivation for wanting to make any, because every time I would sit down to try to record one, I would get interrupted, you know, midway through the video, and it was just um, terrible. The audio didn't sync up with, the mouth motions, and so I just said, forget it. It's not even worth it. So eventually, I did get a new computer um, with a built-in camera, so eliminated the worry about having one of those break. So that's really good. Um, all right, I think the last video I actually made, I was talking about going back to school and trying to make my way to the next level. Um, well, I guess I can report that I ended up passing the two classes that I had with uh, A and B. Um, I got an A in women's studies, and I got the B in cultural anthropology. Um, I'm not really too surprised by that. I mean, I can look back through college, and I think as early as high school, and that was pretty consistent of me to get A's and B's in the classwork. That's not really much at all. Um, it's almost like I can blink an eye and get those grades, in those particular classes. Now, science and math classes, that's a different story. I've always tended to struggle in those, but I wish I could, just be completely overjoyed by getting those grades, but really I'm not. Um, it's just business as usual for me. It's not really too challenging for me. Um, you know, especially for the women's studies class. Just show up to class. Uh, it was just on Tuesdays, so Um, just show up to class every Tuesday from 1 in the afternoon until 4, and listen to the lecture. Uh, didn't have any tests until the final. Um, had to turn in some assignments, but really nothing that would seriously challenge me. Um, I'm pretty much been there, done that. I can take an exam. I know how to do that. And thinking back on it, the exam wasn't even that hard. Just remember certain things and be able to mimic every single thing that I learned, and not much original thought needed to go into it. Now, if I'd been graded on my class participation for that class, that'd be a different story. I think I would have gotten C or D at the minimum, because from August until December, in that class, I maybe spoke, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. I know I can document it. The first time it was during introductions. First day, everybody has to say, uh, why you're taking the class, and what kind of plans do you have. And sure, of course I did that. I'm I'm usually able to do that. Considering in that short amount of time I can easily say, you know, what I'm looking forward to do, and that's about the extent of my conversational skills. Is talk about, uh, well, I want to transfer to 4-year school, and I'm not taking this class because I'm necessarily interested in the topic, but because it's a requirement, and I just decided to take it. So there's one time. And then second time was I had to get up in front of the class, in a group, after reading something, and we each had to say our piece about it. And of course, before I got up there, I had a paper with everything written on it, and not really a big deal. Not wasn't getting up there to give a speech or anything like that. And then the last time was uh, on the next to last day of class. Uh, you know, my professor, went around the room to ask us all, how we're influenced by the class, and I did that, and that was the extent of my class participation. Was only speaking when I was required to. You know, when either you go up there and say something, or make it look like you didn't even go to the class and didn't even learn anything. So, of course, yeah, I learned a lot, but it wasn't something that I was able to look back and say, "Oh wow, I made such huge strides." That's not the case. Um, so yeah, there's that. As for keeping a tally of how many people I've been able to know outside of that class, and it's a zero because once again, in the beginning there were a few people I was talking to. See, I'd get to the class, like half hour before it officially started. And, I had people to talk to, and pretty soon, just the way the college environment is, people start to, you know, drop classes and everything, and that the other person says that, sure, we're gonna talk in the future, and you know, maybe hang out and all this, but then suddenly things change, and you never hear another word from that person. Actually happened uh, with two different people for me, and the second person actually talked with outside of class. I actually tried something different last semester by going to the cafeteria, before my class started, just because I was interested, and maybe find somebody to talk with. And, I managed to chat with someone, but after that, I never got to see her again, and it just felt like things were replaying for me. The exact same thing happened that I had experienced the last time I had been there, and it really uh, stuck with me. I There's no way for me to say that I wasn't affected. And another thing, I guess, another experience was I actually ended up having a panic attack uh, in that class back in, I think it was either, yeah, I think it was October. And, it was a presentation type thing. And, I just ended up leaving the classroom before I even, got a chance to talk about, you know, whatever it was that I needed to present with, another. It was supposed to be a two-person thing, and I just couldn't handle it. So, I ended up just taking my books and walking out, and actually ended up getting prescribed lorazepam, um, so I could take it in the future when I needed it in those kinds of situations. And yeah, I actually ended up using